Hello, this is Akiko Sudano from stampinginthemeadows.com in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. And I'm here to make a Mother's Day card today using this wonderful stamp set, Places in the Heart. And thank you so much for joining me today. I will have all of the sizes of the cards, of the cardstock cuts, on my blog tomorrow. And then I also want to say thank you to folks that are watching on YouTube, because I will take my video and I will repost it to my YouTube channel. And so thank you for watching the replay on YouTube. Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is cold and it's rainy in Pennsylvania, so it's there's a lot of bad weather, so I'm not going to complain. But because it's Mother's Day coming up, I wanted to use this, and this is such a sweet stamp set. I'm going to be using this image, and then it's also got this pretty image of the mom holding the baby, which I think would be great for either for a Mother's Day, or it would also be great for a new mom if you wanted to send a congratulations card that was focused on the mom as opposed to the baby. Hi, Amy. Thank you so much for joining me today. And then it's got the sweetest sentiments. This one is really, really sweet. And then there are these two. And this is the one that I'm going to be using for my Mother's Day card today. And I'm going to also be using a lot of the new colors today. So I'm going to be stamping the image first using the new Pebbled Path color. Now this is a dark gray, and I've picked up some swatches here. This one is your basic gray. This one is smoky slate. The colors aren't coming across as well, I think, on my camera as they are in real life. This is the Pebbled Path. And then this is the gray granite. So to me, it's like the Pebble Path and gray granite have a little bit more a brownish tone than a true gray tone, or maybe the basic gray and the smoky slate have more of a bluish tone as opposed to the brownish tones to it. But there's definitely a difference in them. And you can see that the Pebbled Path is it's darker than the gray granite, but it's just a little bit lighter than the basic gray. And so I want to use this stamp has a lot of the different shading in it. So I wanted to use something. I didn't want to use black on this. So let me go ahead and ink up my stamp. And I'm going to stamp this on ink it up, and I'm going to stamp this on basic white. And you can see all of the different, as I get it inked up, you can see all of the different shades there. And then I'll stamp it. Going to stamp it on towards the bottom of my panel here. And I believe this is a 3 by 4 1/4 inch basic white panel. And like I said, I'll have all of the measurements on my blog tomorrow. And there's the image, and you can see all of the different shading. Let me bring this up close. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to color this with the main parts of the image with Stampin' Blends. And I'm going to just give this a few minutes to dry before I do this, because this is being a new stamp pad. It's very, very juicy, and so I want to make sure that this gets nice and dry before I start to color it. So here are the colors of the Stampin' Blends that I'm going to use. I'm going to first start with the And because the all the shading and because the outline images, the outline lines are pretty thick, it will color very quickly. You can color it very quickly. And I'm using the light bubble bath, and this is one of the new colors. It's not one of the in colors, but it's one of the new colors as part of the color refresh. And I'm going to color her dress with the bubble bath. And this is the light bubble bath. And you can see it colors very quickly. Just using the brush tip of the Stampin' Blend and just coloring it. And then I'm going to color the bow in the hat with the bubble bath as well. I think that's a ribbon, that's a ribbon, and then the ribbon and the bow in her hat. Yeah, make it pink, pink, pink. Pink for Mother's Day is fine. Okay, then I'm going to use the light white wild wheat, and this is one of the new in colors, and I'm going to color her hat. I'm going to color this little section right here, and then the brim of her hat and the top of her hat, and this will be like a sun hat. And I have like a straw colored sun hat that I wear in the summertime. I thought this would be like that. And I'm coloring even some of the shaded areas here. There we go. That looks good. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color the hair, and what I'm going to be using is the light pecan pie to color the hair. And I'm using the brush tip, and I'm just going to color just the edges of the hair like this. And then the child, the hair on the child. There. Oh, maybe just a little bit more out here. There we go. And that was the light pecan pie, or pecan pie. And then I'm going to use the light petal pink to color the arms of both the mom and the child. This is the arm, and I think this is the arm too. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell, but you can see the coloring goes really, really quickly. And I think basically I'm just trying to kind of stay in the lines. And on this shaded part, I'm going to color that too. And it gives it just a little bit, kind of breaks up the basic white. There. Now for the, this is the wrong color. For the child's shirt, I want to use the lemon lime twist. Yes, here it is. And this is the light lemon lime twist. So I'm going to color the shirt that color. There we go. Got it all. And then the pants, I'm going to color light smoky slate. And I'm using the brush tip basically on all of these. And I think this is part of the pants too. So let's turn it aside, to the side. There we go. There. Just a little bit. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color the sky. And what I've done is I cut out a mask. I stamped the image, and I made a mask, and I'm going to cover this part of the image, and then I'm going to use another one of the new colors, the Azure Afternoon, and I'm going to use the blending brush to color basically the sky, the Azure Afternoon. And I'm gonna, this is this is still a light color, but it's a little darker than Balmy Blue, and it's a little darker than Pool Party, definitely darker than Pool Party. So definitely you can see how I've got the smudges here. So definitely it's something where you want to use a light hand, and this will go faster than many of the other colors that that I've used in the past for applying with a blending brush. So I think that if you, I'm going to just do the sky, just the one color, but sometimes with more complicated sky scenes, I'll do especially for like a sunset, do a combination of different colors, and this one will definitely be a nice color to use. But see that that's a pretty intense color, and that went very, very quickly. So use a light hand with that, and definitely start off the panel. And doesn't that look nice? See how nice that comes out? And that's because you've got you've got the large lines there. So it comes out pretty quick, pretty nicely. And then for the ground, I'm going to use, go back to using the Stampin' Blends. Hi, Carol. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go back to using the Stampin' Blends, and I'm using, again, another returning color. I'm using the light Pretty Peacock, and I'm going to color the ground in the light Pretty Peacock. And this is, I just want to get everything here. And there we go. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take one of my deckled rectangles and then cut this out with a deckled rectangle, just like this. And so I'm going to take this over to my die cutting machine and cut this out, and I'll be right back. So move this away, and so here's my image. Now, before I get this mounted, I'm going to go ahead. And I was looking for a Mother's Day sentiment, and something that said Happy Mother's Day. And unfortunately, my go-to Happy Mother's Day sentiments are retiring. So I pulled out this Welcoming Window stamp set, and it's got a Mother's Day sentiment. And right now, the Welcoming Window stamp set is on the clearance rack on sale. So I decided to go ahead and use this one. And this is, the dies are no longer available from Stampin' Up, but the stamps make a really pretty window scene, and with flowers and pictures, and then here's the different flowers that you can put in the flower pots, and then the window, and then the shutters, and then the sill, the windowsill. So I'm going to use that. I've already got that mounted on my stamp set, on my stamp block here. And I am going to stamp this in Pebbled Path, and I'm going to just stamp it in the sky here. And since this is photopolymer stamp set, I can see right through it, and I can stamp it either to the side a little bit or stamp it, yeah, I think I'll stamp it to the side a little bit right here. And hopefully I'm straight. Having a hard time. See, with the deckled rectangles, it's a little bit, I guess, a little trickier to line it up straight, because I guess that means it's not going to matter much also if it's straight or crooked, but we'll see. It's there. Let's go with that off to the side. That came out pretty nice. And one of the things also is that the font of this particular Mother's Day sentiment goes pretty nicely with the font mixes in the stamp set. So I'm going to take this stamped and colored image and put this on a matte, an Azure Afternoon matte. And Azure Afternoon is one of the new colors. That it's not a returning color, it's a new color. And I don't remember if this is going to be in the Brights. I believe it's going to be in the Brights color family. And again, I'll have the sizes of the mat in my blog tomorrow. There. Okay. Yeah, that looks okay. Now, for my card base, I have another Azure Afternoon card base, and I'm using the beautiful, Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper. So it's going to be a cheerful and colorful Mother's Day card, which I think is a good thing. So I'm going to adhere this first panel on my Azure Afternoon card base with liquid glue. And this Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper is just so cheerful, and it's so colorful, and it has a lot of different patterns that are great for a lot of different occasions. Oh, I was going to put this on first, but I think I can put this on. I'm going to adhere that to the side, and I can do that a little bit more carefully. Right here, both of these pieces of Designer Series paper are cut at 5 1/4, so that they will, so they're the same size. It's okay. So that's going to be the background of my card. And I have a bow. Oh, this is one of the new. This is one of the new ribbons in the new catalog, and it's lemon lime twist, and then it's got different 3 rows of stitching in, 3 or 4 rows of stitching in basic white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this ribbon to the side of my panel like this with a glue dot. Come on. I'll adhere the panel like this, so just stick the ribbon on the side there. Yep, that's good. And then I will adhere this panel to my card with dimensionals. And so stick one kind of in the corner here. And all around. There we go. Is that enough? One more. There we go. Pull off the covers. I was looking for a Mother's Day sentiment, and I didn't have one that was appropriate for the new catalog that was carrying over for the new catalog. So I went with this one from the Welcoming Window stamp set. But another thing that I think I'll be doing later on this week is using some of the there's a lot of different options with the letter stamps. Hi Cheryl, thank you so much for joining me. There's a lot of, and Karen, I see that you're here too, and thank you guys so much for joining me. There's a lot of also letter stamps. So you've got the, I think I'm going to use the Alphabest stamp set to make another Mother's Day card. I'm going to try to use this designer series paper because it's just so cheerful. But I think that will be nice. And that's another option for using a Mother's Day, for making a Mother's Day stamp set for a Mother's Day card, given that I didn't have any current Mother's Day sentiments, a sentiment that said Happy Mother's Day. So I'm going to just use a mom sentiment and probably use the same. And and I have to use some pink embellishments here, and what I'm using these are the frosted dots, and what I've done is I've taken some glue dots and cut up my glue dots and stuck it on the back of these loose frosted dots, because these dots don't have they're loose, so they would be great for shaker cards as well. But so that's the front of my card today. Now I said I was going to use the sentiment, since I don't put my labels on the back of my cling set. May all the love that you gave to me come back to you on your special day. That is really pretty, and I think that's perfect for Mother's Day. So that's the sentiment that I'm going to use for the inside of my card. And I'm going to stamp this also in the Pebbled Path ink. And this is really, really, some of these, this font has some really thin, oops, and that's upside down, so it's a good thing I stamped that. some really, really thin lines, but my ink pad is nice and juicy because it's brand new. And I'll stick this kind of here. That's, I think, a little high. Maybe there. I think that looks okay. Good. And then I decided to go ahead and use the striped designer series paper, and I'll put that horizontally, no, vertically, on the side of the panel. And I'm going to do that with liquid glue. And put it right here. Looks straight enough. And then I'm going to, oops, get my stamp and seal. That's the adhesive that I forgot to put on the, to put this panel on the inside. Now, today and tomorrow are the last days that you can order from the current annual catalog, and then Tuesday is going to be the big day when the new catalog comes out, and that's just so exciting because there's going to be so many, all these beautiful, beautiful colors, and this beautiful designer series paper will be available on Tuesday, and it's just so exciting. So put this panel on the inside. There we go. There. So that's the inside of my card. Thank you, Karen. And then that's my card for today. So thank you so much for joining me. And actually, I think next weekend I'm not going to be coming on live. And so I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. And everybody have a great week. Bye-bye.